Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. We are here with the Zencleanz experience, and today we have Joanna with us. We're happy to discuss your Zencleanz experience, and I don't know, like, this is the first time we've met, so I'm really excited, as well as Harry and Nick and myself.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. So, how long have you been with Zencleanz, Joanna?
I started almost, I think, just over a year ago. So it was around New Year last year, what, 15 months or something like that. And I definitely am not new to the detox world. And I think that's one of the things for me that sets Zencleanz apart is the fact that so many of us have tried so many different things over the years. And it felt like something that actually worked that didn't involve me flying to Thailand for 2 months and doing big long fasts and all this kind of stuff. And I was getting more incredible results from it sorry, that's my dog, in such a short amount of time, in such a simple way that I was just so incredibly blown away that I felt like I had to share it with people. It wasn't something I had ever planned on sharing, but like I said, my results, considering the lengths and extremes I'd gone to before to get results and try and figure my health out, yeah, it's just been really remarkable. So in terms of just things that were bugging me, I suppose, uh, I'm 43 and I was sort of feeling like I was maybe heading into early perimenopause, and that was terrifying. I was like, I'm far too young for this. But I knew I just had some hormonal stuff going on. And really, I also know that the liver is a major determinant in how our hormones function. And I really felt like I needed to just cleanse and clear. And so I was really looking for something to help me clear my system, to help balance my hormones, to help, with going through life's changes. And so that was just one of the big factors for me. Also, I've struggled with weight in the past, adrenal issues, burnout, brain fog, the sort of just the general stuff that I suppose so many of us have from having our own businesses and working too hard and too many years in corporate and all that kind of stuff. So just really, and it's the kind of thing that I've also been to, it doesn't sound like a lot of stuff, but from food intolerances and bloating and, I went to a doctor for the first time when I was 21. So that's over half my life away ago that I went looking for some answers. And I feel like really for the first time, and I've been to so many different specialists, I've done all the tests, the food intolerance tests, the oat tests, I've been to the special nutritionist people. I mean, you name it, I have been to everybody that I could possibly have thought of. I've tried every other modality from plant medicines to acupuncture to different Chinese medicines to I've tried everything I could think of, all on this mission to get well. And nothing has given me such a dramatic result as Zencleanz has in such a short amount of time. And I think that just sort of goes to show how powerful it is. And that's really just why I'm here and why I want people to know about it, is because, I've spent probably, I don't know how many tens of thousands to try and figure out, and the next specialist, and it's not cheap to try and go to all these different places and try and get the answers. And then once you've done all the tests, you still have to then buy all the supplements. But the thing I like to describe it as that approach was like trying to take a shower with your clothes on, right? So I'm trying to take all these vitamins, but what I needed to do was take my clothes off first, which is the cleansing of your system. So all these, taking all these supplements, they don't really work unless you've done the cleansing first. Once you've, cleansed your internal systems, cleansed your liver, gallbladder, then maybe taking the supplements is going to have a bit of an impact. Otherwise, it's just, it's not really doing much, and you end up spending a lot of money and not noticing a big effect. So yeah, I'm just a big fan of it, and yeah, that's it.
Wow, that's
Mm.
amazing. Yeah. I really love that you can get the results in such a short amount of time. It's huge. Like you were saying, you've gone through years and years of different cleanses and whatnot. But yeah, the Zen cleanse is just base. I want to say basically just instant results within a day.
Yeah, it gets rid of the it's what you said, Joanna, it gets rid of the detox pathways. Like if you're adding supplements and your detoxification paths and your primary detoxification pathways, your colon, your liver, like and the lungs and the kidneys, but primarily the Zencleanz one, the liver and the once you start getting those flushed out, then you can assimilate nutrients properly, you can start doing real work. That's where the profound things come from. If not, the supplements are subtle and not so obvious. It's not saying they don't do anything, it's just they don't feed anything. And Zencleanz, most people will say if they do one properly, they feel something. So we know when we try it, something's going on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So you've done the Zen cleanse one, the intestinal.
Yeah. So I did that one, I think twice. I'm starting to lose count, and I've done,
Mhm.
I think, 4 forgive ones.
Wow. Yeah.
I've also done the just kept up with some of the enzymes as well,
Mhm.
which I've really loved, the digestive enzymes, Jing, and the black vacuum as well.
Mm.
Just I wanted to try them. I was so curious, and they're great, and they've been fabulous as well. But I think what Harry was kind of saying, that you can feel it, and I love that you can see it too. So
Yeah.
it's a bit gross, but we're encouraged to catch what comes out of us in a container, in your toilet, so in a colander or something like that. And it might seem weird, but it is so unbelievably satisfying to see what comes out. And I had posted some of my results recently on Instagram or Facebook or something, and a good friend of mine actually reached out and said, look, my sister's quite interested in doing it, but she wants to know if the stuff you posted was real.
Mm.
And I said, well, yeah, of course. Do you want to see the rest of the album in my in my phone? But I said, there's so much, like, I can't even share on online. And this was somebody I'd known for 20 odd years. And she was wondering, she could, because she couldn't quite believe that the volume of stuff that was coming out of me, that she was like, is it real? So I think part of it is people, of course, something that works so fast, that works so well, that we're all like banging on about how wonderful it is. It's the people that even know you for a long time would question it because it seems so crazy. But the stuff that's coming out, you see it with your own eyes because you catch it. And I highly recommend that to anyone, even if you're a little bit squeamish, because otherwise you might just think you've gone to the bathroom. But when you see either, meters of mucoid plaque, again, overnight, which is unheard of in the detox community, I think that's people, I don't think, even when they're doing Zen cleanse, appreciate what it usually used to take to get a couple of meters of mucoid plaque out. Like I said, I think I didn't get any until my second 10-day fast in Thailand, and that was after like 2 months just eating raw and continuing all of the stuff. And then I got some mucoid plaque out, and everybody was shocked because even then that's quite a big result for what we had been doing. So it's not, but with Zen cleanse, it seems like everybody gets that overnight, and that is what to me, I'm like, whoa, what? Like it's just bananas. And then with the gallbladder flush, you can physically see the gallstones, you can see the fatty bile deposits, you can see the liver flukes and parasites coming out of your system. Like, so you physically see it, which is nice and satisfying. And then personally, the next day I felt high. Like, I've never felt naturally so high in my life. Maybe after like a breathwork session or, you know, an ice bath and a breathwork session or something is maybe the only thing that could maybe even come close. But just, I actually had to like phone a friend and be like, is this what's happening? Is this normal? Like I felt so high, you know, and as somebody who's had burnout and adrenal fatigue, feeling that amount of energy was just, my system just didn't know what to do with it. I was blown away. So you can definitely feel it in terms of energy. But one more just little thing and then I'll be quiet. But a really subtle shift for me that was profound. And again, as somebody who's been on the spiritual path and doing a lot of work on myself, including a lot of somatic healing work, was that overnight my body dropped out of fight flight mode and into my parasympathetic system. And I didn't even realize how jacked up I had been. You know, I'm somebody who'd spent years in tantric communities and just doing so much sort of physical healing. And, you know, I'd spent years working with kinesiologists and, you know, all this physical stuff, as well as the deep emotional, spiritual healing and things. And my body had still been in this fight flight mode, and I couldn't, that was probably out, you know, the cleansing's all one thing, but feeling that shift in my body was probably and has been the most lasting thing for me in terms of like changing my life. I used to find it quite difficult to settle into meditation. I always felt like I was going to die. I know it sounds dramatic, but that's just how it was. But overnight, I was able to just sit and be still and be in meditation without feeling like it was it wasn't difficult. It was easy, and I was and that's something that stayed with me. And I've been able to, you know, and as somebody, I promote that and I tell people how important it is and how good it is for us and how much it helps us manifest our dreams in the world and everything. And it doesn't help me manifest a quiet dog though. But that has been one of the most profound things for me. So yeah, just wild.
Good points.
Yeah, very good.
This concoction is very efficient.
Yes. Very powerful and potent.
You're reminding me that Joanna, you reminded me with me too, because we're all in fight or flight to certain degrees, and I think sometimes the body gets locked. It's the best way I can describe it. And it's not that we don't do other work on it, but when the body gets jarred or locked, sometimes it takes something like a massive bowl of energy system or a complete cleansing shove of that organ that's blocking that jolt of jarring of PTSD or trauma. Because I also, the day after, remember with my reactions around strangers was like, that PTSD thing that I get used to just kind of disappeared the day after. I was like, now I'm acting different completely, and I'm not trying to. It's just unconscious because something's unblocked in my organ of the PTSD. It was nuts. So yeah, it does take out stress in the organs to a degree that you can actually feel the difference and get shocked. It's like you said, it makes the organs sing, isn't it? That's another feeling it does too. You feel like your organs have had a really good bath, like a wash. They're clean. They actually feel they're clean. It's not something you can, oh, you feel it. And it's amazing, that feeling.
I love
So
that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to try the lung cleanse?
Oh no, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to it, but one of the things I have been loving about Zencleanz is I can do it in one weekend. And
Right.
the specific ones I've been doing, and I've been finding for a lot of people either busy with their own businesses or with families or, you know, a job or whatever, being able to do it in a weekend has been really fantastic for people. So I've just been sticking to that at the moment for me, just with what I've been going on. But yeah, I'm keen to do some longer ones, and yeah, see where that takes me. But yeah, not yet, but it's on my list. I'm working up to it.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I really like the efficiency of the day cleanses. It's like, it's so simple. It's so simple.
I think the long one is 7 days long, right? I think so. When I bought it, I did one
Rainbow?
third.
I think it's
7 days.
28.
Oh, was it 28? Sorry, Crystal.
But it's basically just drinking the products that they send. So
It's actually easier than Zencleanz one, I think. It's got a tea. There's a tea and there's a sachet. So the sachet one I definitely did. That one When I done the sachet one, I felt mucus come out my lungs straight away. So one sachet in the morning, every time I did the sachet one, I felt the mucus. I didn't do the tea and something else. But what I'm saying is I think it's even easier than Zencleanz one, where you have to mix things, right? Not that
Right.
Zencleanz one is hard, but you have to prepare a little more. It's a bit, yeah, you have to do some
Right.
prep.
So when
Yeah.
you did the lung, and I think it's called Inspire, right? The
Mhm.
product
Yeah.
name. So have you had issues with your lungs before that
Mm.
made you want to cleanse your lungs, or you just wanted to try it and see?
No, like, I mean, we all know that there's endless work in detox. And I can't say, but
Right.
to be honest with you, I smoke a little bit now, pure tobacco, but before I was not smoking nothing. I hardly done weed, nothing. So my lungs should have been quite clear, to be honest.
Right.
And yeah, but even then, when I did do the sachet of like thicker liquid, and it was tasty, by the way, because guess what? All Zencleanz products are designed to be tasty. That's not the reason we do them, but they are tasty. But yeah, when you take when I took the sachet, I noticed straight away my lungs were like, you know, when you've exercised too hard and your lungs are burning, you're pulling out stuff. That was the feeling I got just from the sachets. It was quite shocking actually, and they're very small, and you can easily carry them around as well. And so you just got to sip on that lush thing, and that's it. That's 1/3 of the protocol done already, which is what I liked about it. It's really good. Yeah.
Well, they've got the herb selection figured out, and then they must potentiate those herbs through fermentation and then the chanting into them. They're
Mm.
pretty wise. They're pretty wise the way they got these kits figured out.
Yeah. It's like they've got herbs that are specific to lungs or whatever anyway. And then the key is would the key be, guys, the magnification of the fermentation of the enzymes here in that particular formula that's already good for lungs. So it's like, okay, so say, I don't know, milk thistle is good for the liver. So they'll get milk thistle, for example, and then they'll ferment it for 3 years and with a load of other things specifically good for the liver, put them in a combo. So you're not dealing with fresh milk thistle, you're dealing with fermented milk thistle enzymes, which is fermented milk thistle. And the enzymes are the most powerful bit. Put it in a formula. And like you said, Nick, with loads of other stuff in it. And yeah, and even make it radiation proof apparently, because I remember Matt saying that the boxers, because they have to travel the world, and radiation definitely does harm the frequency of products and supplements. So a nifty trick probably they do that's unique to them maybe is, at least Matt used to think, is they put some radiation protection in the box so the fermentation of the things doesn't get, because you know, like water and foods get unstructured, even fruits and vegetables sent around the world. If you put them in radiation, which everyone does, it's gonna not destroy everything, but it does destroy something. So I kind of believe they do a load of little things like underground like that to make it stand out so that you get that wow experience. Because it's a good business, right? If you get a wow and a result, you're likely to come back for more. But I remember saying last time, and it's true, I still got people that buy it, and then I'll message them months later, and they'll be like, "Oh, I've not tried it. It's just a box at home." Well, that's on you, because no one can make you do something. If you bought it, you know, please do it at some point.
Yeah. I suppose all in divine time. It's just
There's that too, right?
not ready for it,
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
yeah.
I did have one box that sat there for about 6 weeks. I'm one of those people. But I just had to trust the divine timing of it. And when I was ready to let go. But I knew I had something. It was one of the forgive ones, and I knew I had some anger stuff swirling and building, and I just guess I wasn't quite ready to let it go. And I did the cleanse when I was really ready to let it go, and I did, and it's shifted and changed something in that relationship dynamic for sure. Because I knew there was something building. And then the last one I did, and I've also had, like, I don't know if you've had this, like, overnight when I'm doing the cleanse, whichever one it was, I've had memories or things come to me in dreams that I haven't thought about for 20 years or something like that. And I'm like, oh, that must be the thing I'm supposed to release or forgive myself for. And I'm always amazed at what the memories that have flashed up while I'm doing it. And then this last one I did, I dedicated it to my mother, my forgive one. And that was my intention. So I think as well, like the kits are obviously super powerful, and I think, but also our intention is obviously incredibly powerful as well. And if we can sort of team them up, I think it can be, you know, even more powerful. So yeah, you can set a positive intention of maybe something. But I also, even with the intention about my mum, had various other little memories and things pop up out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, that as well. Oh, okay, interesting. So yeah, it's nice to do it with an intention. Have you guys tried doing it with that, or?
No, but I love the idea. And as you were speaking about it, like my whole body just, you know, got those truth bumps. So definitely going to do that. Yeah.
It's wicked. Also, Joanna, you said as well, like it's the emotions, isn't it? Forgive. Like maybe, I mean, it does a load of things. Like you said, it brought up childhood memories, but maybe the main emotion tied in with the liver is forgiveness. Maybe the main emotion tied in with lungs is inspiration for creativity. Maybe they've done it like that. Nothing surprises me with them. Not that I'm saying nothing else doesn't come up and intention doesn't work, but like we know that anyone that drinks alcohol, if you drank alcohol and you've given it up like 2 years ago, you need to do liver and forgive, because any bit of alcohol is going to put more anger and bad emotions in that blocked up thing, right? So like this is for like everybody and for everyone that thinks they're feeling okay that doesn't realize they have blocked up emotions, because we all have blocked up emotions. We can all get inspired. Like actually, I'm kind of inspired to, if I committed to the lungs one, to see how much more creative I become. Because I do think there's so much to the organs. That's another thing I love about Zencleanz. It's not just it's how you feel, but it's the emotions are so strong. Those bad ones seem to disappear and good ones flourish that you didn't even know you had inside you. And that can be quite shocking. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Well, you know, we have 72,000 knots, and they need to be opened, and it creates 144,000 chakras, and all those pathways and channels are frequencies, signals, bioelectricity, thoughts, and emotions. And probably 7/8 of all of ours are blocked. So these enzymes they break free those pathways, and we can work through a lot of stuck emotions and trauma, and get things flowing.
Mm.
yeah. Do you think, Nick, even you guys, do you think even people that work on themselves have 7/8 of our cells blocked? Even that amount, that's a very high amount, I'm shocked.
Well, I know before I did the liver cleanse, I didn't realize I had this like frustration, just this like underlying frustration until I had the liver stones released.
I'm with you. Yeah,
Felt
it
like
kind
more
of takes you
peaceful.
by surprise. Like we've done all this work on ourselves. We've done all this work and think, oh yeah, so we don't get this anymore. It's for other people. And then yeah, you do something and it's like, there was something come out. Emotion, there was a block. And it was literally tied into physical health. Because I know mental is powerful and the mind is incredible. And maybe the mind is the ultimate, but the mind and body are so connected. It's a joke. But when people do subtle things with the body, they'll only notice subtle improvements in the mind and the emotions. But it's when that thing comes in thick and fast and a massive cleanse of the body or an organ of the body that's a detox channel, then you're like, okay, it was a physical block, but it might have been created by mental stuff like trauma, but still the mental caused the physical block. So now I do the physical health protocol, and now without me even trying, but yes, with intention, we make it more powerful. But sometimes even without even intentions, it works. Just take it away and it's like, wow, okay, now I'm more calm and peaceful. This is what my life is supposed to be like before the world hit me with trauma. Like,
I think
Yeah.
the mind is the electricity and the chi flowing through the body. And I would say that I'm still at least 60% blocked. And these physical things that we're referring to cleansing are almost spiritual, because many of these micro pathways are invisible to the naked eye. So they are bordering the spiritual side of things.
yes, if we can't see it, then science can never tell us. So we shouldn't wait for evidence. But the evidence is in trying it, right? That's interesting. Yeah, like the Nardis, they can't ever show that, can they? They're saying there's 100, how many? 72,000 points. How are we
72,000
supposed to show them?
nadis.
how would you even do that on a computer or a 3D graphic? It's never going to come about. I do believe it though. It's true. Like,
And then like you have not only your conscious mind, but then the subconscious, which we aren't even in control of those thoughts. So I feel like with these cleanses, we can touch into that too and help,
yeah,
clear
yeah.
those memories and thoughts of the
Absolutely.
It's crazy,
subconscious.
isn't it? It's a great angle to focus on the spiritual aspect of doing a really powerful physical health protocol, like the spiritual aspect and what you can become. I remember before one of the people, actually they did sign me up, Alexandra Cousins. I think you guys interviewed her. She had a client that had ADHD and had really bad ADHD. And I don't think he was expecting when he done the Zencleanz one, I think it was. When he done that one, all of a sudden his ADHD just kind of stopped overnight. He was shocked. Like all of that agitation and inability to concentrate just disappeared because the organ was blocked. And it was like, wow, it's like being reborn. I think he even said it was like being reborn. So it's nuts. Yeah, Zencleanz is actually can be a rebirth when you do these things. It's crazy.
Absolutely. I feel that. Like I have undiagnosed, I think, a little bit of ADHD. And that can actually happen for women when they go into perimenopause, which I didn't realize. But my ability to concentrate and therefore the knock-on effect to my business in the last year as well has been quite profound. Like, as I used to be very, very consistent, got it all done, and then just struggled for the last 4 or 5 years to be consistent, to get my work done, and sometimes even with my creativity. And after just that first Zencleanz one, the content that was just like pouring out of me, and I was able to just sit and just the words were just coming. I was like, oh my gosh, I finally have things to say again. And it was and I did just incredible. I've started my podcast, I've got a book half written. There's so much.
Nice.
I feel like my capacity to help people, to coach, to do my work has just gone off the charts. And that's something that I'm like was so exciting for me, because I was like, oh, I feel like I'm back. Like I'm like, oh, this is who I am. Like I can do it again. And and we're all on this path to help people, and to we're in this crazy time, and we're in the middle of this. We've just started this big eclipse energy, and I believe that as a sort of, you guys are all on the path as well, as this sort of these spiritual healers and leaders and coaches and whatever we do to help people, we have to have the physical functionality to be able to hold the space to do the work, and to help people. And I feel like it's really helped give me back so much of my capacity to do that. So I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, so back on track. Can't wait to do my next one.
Yeah.
So, Joanna, what you're saying makes me think, I'm sure you guys would agree, maybe why the masses are so stuck in a rut, so stuck in lack of creativity. It's not like they don't have dreams. It's like the actual action to take those small steps in the dreams could be the biggest hurdle. And we can't dismiss it. And one of the reasons is because the channels, particularly the waste organs of the liver and, of course, the colon, is so heavily pounded with stuff that is actually stopping any kind of motivation. If motivation comes in, it doesn't last, and they don't take action on it. And it's not even, I'm not trying to excuse anyone and say it's right or wrong. I'm just saying maybe because the organ's so caked up and it's never been cleansed fully, it's actually stopping these things. And maybe like you could actually change the world, like by doing a one Zencleanz one. If everyone did it, the world would change overnight. That kind of saying they say would apply to Zencleanz for people. They'll be like, wow, I'm a new person. Okay, let's start writing my book. Let's take little actions. Let's ring the person. Let's forgive the person I've been holding on to hate for. Let's go and call that girl that I fancy. All these kind of things. Your life can change forever. Like,
Absolutely.
Wow.
And that's the key thing, is right, it starts from within, right? What do you want to see in the world? And it starts with us. So if I'm not at peace in my own body, right? So if I'm in fight flight mode in my own body, how can I expect the world around me to reflect a peaceful environment, right? So that's the beautiful thing with this thing is, if I can drop into peace in my own body, then I'm much more able to help and support the rest of the world, like through my meditations and helping other people, and the ripple effect of being on this or a podcast or whatever that is. I mean, it's just, I think it's profound. And I think the burnout thing is real in the coaching, spiritual, health community. Like a lot of people would do more if they had more capacity. So yeah, I fully believe that these are some of the building blocks to making a difference in the world. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I remember being constipated when I don't think I shared this before, but I was like severely constipated when I was 13 to 15. And one of the reasons was because I was stressed at school. And my dad was Indian and put a lot of pressure and expected me to do well at school. And I was struggling because I was going through emotional stuff. And funny enough, the emotional probably made me constipated. But anyway, long story short, I was constipated and I would actually feel my gut and actually kind of feel the colon, the poo on the high up and go higher and higher. But I remember that feeling of being constipated, and it was really like it's like being put underwater and you can't even think clearly. It's like a fog. Like, and it is depressing. And it's like a huge block where you just can't get out of it. And you just keep getting the harder it is to get. The constipation is hard to get rid of. My dad's answer was to do prunes, and that didn't really work that much. I really need to do some mental stuff. But yeah, I think the whole world to some degree is actually, I think we all know this, the whole world is definitely constipated. I mean, people think that one poo every few days, even though they're eating 2 or 3 times a day, how does that work? The math doesn't even work. But people don't sit there and calculate it. But maybe they should go and calculate it. Because if you're doing one poo every couple of days and you're eating 2, 3 times a day, then you're putting more in than you're getting out, which is called constipation, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I suffered in my 20s terribly, but I was also drinking like a fish and, not eating well and all those kind of things. And I think one time I went 10 days. I mean, it was just ridiculous. But yeah, so unwinding all of that stuff, it's, the effects last a long time. So yeah, it's you're not alone with that one, Harry. It's not
Yeah.
it's not fun. It's not fun. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure
I was
most of
oh, go ahead.
no, that's all. No.
I was just gonna say that I was born with colic too, so I was definitely a great candidate for this. And so many things have changed. Like, I don't wake up tired anymore. I wake up with a clear mind instantly. 3, 2, 1, 3 seconds, and I'm ready to go. Pretty much.
Bro, you don't need caffeine, yeah? You without caffeine? Was it with the caffeine?
I still use caffeine. But it's a different thing that improved. As soon as I wake up, there's a clarity and a fresh peace. Whereas for years and years before, especially before the liver cleanses, and I'm sure the intestinal cleanses were about as equally improving. But I woke up, but I was just heavy and groggy and real heavy and foggy and groggy. And it took hours and hours to get going, several hours.
Yeah.
Not anymore. So that's nice. So now I can get to going. I can get to going on things and start working and moving around and all the stuff we do way faster.
Yeah. I think again, it should be normal for every human, right? To wake up. Me too. I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm in that like dreamy state, and that's good. But then when you wake into the wake state, I remember before, like you, Nick, thinking, oh, here we go, like grogginess, all that. And now it's like, okay, I've got energy. Like it might have been a Zencleanz one I did a few months because I think I've done it maybe 5, 6, 7 months ago. But I still feel the effects of it because since then I've taken out decades old and I haven't put in. It takes a long time to put garbage in even if you carry on eating garbage, it takes a long time after you've done a cleanse. So yeah, it's really mental. Like people will do the stimulants too much. Like caffeine is a way to wake up when you'd save a load of money if you did Zencleanz 1, right? Instead of buying caffeine all the time, without the consequences of caffeine, because caffeine has a consequence to your sleep after. You might get a jolt in the morning, but if you're drinking 10 cups of coffee, you're fucking asleep.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, very little caffeine.
Oh yeah, we're
Yeah.
so sensitive to caffeine. I can take a gulp out of coffee, weak coffee, and I will be so energized for so long. Sometimes I can't sleep, so I have to wear myself out.
no. Yeah. I'm re-inspired. I just want to share, I'm gonna be inspired by this. I'm finally gonna do the Zencleanz one that I've had for a few months now. So I'm gonna get it done before I go to Thailand on April. It's the next few
You've got a
days.
box. Have you
Yeah.
got a box
Yeah.
at
So
home that you
I was
haven't done?
guilty. I'm guilty. I was meant to bring it here. I was meant to bring it here to Manchester, but I didn't do it. But I'm going to do it but I'm also not going to do it 100% correct again because of I don't have access to still water and all these things. So I'll do it inappropriately, and I'll probably, knowing how powerful it is, get an amazing result, even not following exactly everything. So
Doesn't
yeah,
matter. It's so good.
I think
exactly.
that
Yeah.
the other thing, oh sorry, yeah, people you don't need to worry about doing it exactly or feeling like you have to really fast beforehand or whatever. I think the first one I just kind of was eating normally and then just dived in the next day, partly because with what had been going on in my system, I was really struggling to fast and to do these things because of what was happening in my system. And so the fact that I could sort of just dive into it and just make it work really helped open the doorway to allow me more easily to fast when I needed to the next time, because I just was so caught up in my old ways, my old patterns. It was almost like I didn't know how to break them. So yeah, having that yeah, it was so easy is what I'm saying. And I wasn't hungry and I was just like, I was able to do it. And then after that first one, everything's been so much easier. I've been sort of doing longer fasts last week and just on water. And that's something I wouldn't have been able to do before Zencleanz. My system was too jacked up to be able to do it. So it's opened the door for me to do other things and make other changes with my lifestyle and everything. And yeah, it's just I think for people, if they are in any way put off, it seems like a lot of money, but I think when you add up what you would spend on other things, it's very good value for the shifts you're getting, for the having spent the tens and tens of thousands myself trying to find answers. And no Western doctor will give you anything that can help you. I think that is, unless your arm is falling off, unless something, is going on, no Western doctor can help you. Even I have found no specialist, not even like naturopaths. I've been to all the different specialists. If I had anything going on in my system, I would cancel all of that and I would just do Zencleanz. And then after 6 months or a year, if I still wanted to go and get some more testing done, I would do it after all that. But I don't see any point in doing any of that now. Had I known about Zencleanz first, that would have been, I can't even imagine how different my life would have been if I had spent even a couple of grand on Zencleanz as opposed to tens and tens of thousands on all this other stuff. I can't even imagine how different my life would be. But yeah, it's worth it in the long run. And yeah, I actually don't think, compared to the amount of stuff we spend on things that don't work, this is really good value for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
amen.
definitely.
It's true.
And then all the
Yeah.
supplements that you continue to take then can actually be absorbed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was nothing ever wrong with the supplements. They were all right. They just can't be felt in a system that was clogged up. It needs to unclog itself. Right?
Yeah, there's good reasons we're sharing this one. These concoctions are gonna go very far. They're brilliant.
They will. And I'd say lastly as well that none of us, or most of us, haven't really got around to the kidneys, the lymph, and all these things. They're going to take time. I really think Zencleanz is going big as it is, and the other three are going to get as flagship as the Zencleanz one. But we know things take time. People take time. We all take time. We have boxes that we leave around and all these things. Everyone's guilty of it. So we'll all get there in a sweet time. And I look forward to trying them all and focusing on them all. And yeah, so long as the doctors don't serve Zencleanz ones as soon as the patient comes in the door, so long as the counselors, instead of saying for first counseling session, do Zencleanz one, so as long as that doesn't exist, we've got work to do. And just do a Zencleanz, do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think we're all affiliated with Zencleanz. So let's share our coupon code so we can get people to start this journey with us. So go ahead, Joanna. Do you have like
I have a link,
any,
but I don't have a
yeah.
coupon.
Yeah.
Mine's Holistic Health with Harry, one word. And
Okay.
Nick and Crystal, I've forgotten
Yep.
your one.
We are clear, CLEAR _compass.
Oh, okay. Clear
Yep.
_compass. Got you.
Yes. Yeah. Very good.
Cool. Thanks for
Whoa.
joining, Joanna. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very well said. Well, actually, what everyone had to say was very well said.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm-
Maybe next time, Nick, we can do the carry on with the one we didn't finish on the website, like going through all of the things. Remember, we
All the
didn't finish going
pictures.
through it. There was so much there. Like,
let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And Joanna,
Okay.
you're welcome to join us at the next one, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's been
Sorry,
really
my
good.
dog keeps growling at me. She's
Oh,
so
Oh, we
needy.
can't even hear it. It's all good.
Oh, can you-
Yeah.
I'm trying to pat her with one hand.
We better let you get to her. She sounds like
Oh.
she needs her loving.
She doesn't need the other dog.
Okay.
Just fine.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Thanks, guys.
thank
Cheers,
you.
guys.
Thanks everyone for
Thanks.
listening. Many blessings.
Bye.
Bye.